Okay, let's go over the review worksheet. So, right with fractional exponents, remember, 25 is going to stay here. The regular number goes on top, the root goes on the bottom. So we get here. For number 2, there's nothing to do in the first parenthesis. We're going to take this -2 to everything in here. So this is 2 to the -2nd, x to the -2nd, z to the -2nd. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put 3 on top. This 2 to the -2nd goes to the bottom as 4. X squared times x to the -2nd, multiplying powers the same base. We add exponents so they cancel out. Okay, oops, I forgot y to the -2nd too. Y's cancel out. So we just get 3z over 4 or 3/4 z. On number 3, we want to write a sequence, okay, for this. Graph over here. So we're only going to write explicit equations on the test. So we see that we're multiplying by -3 each time. So t to the n equals 1/3 times -3 to the nth power. Over here, y equals x minus 2 squared. So 2 is our vertex, y is equal to 4. And so we get a parabola that looks like that. And you can sketch that on your calculator. Okay? So on number 4, we want to factor this if possible. So again, we make the generic rectangle. So we get 3x and 3x over 2. Diamond problem, 6x squared adding to 5x. Okay, so that's 3x and 2x. So I'm going with 3x, 2x. So I'm going with 3x and x. This is plus 2. Plus 2. 3x is plus 1. So we factor it into 3x plus 2 times x plus 1. B, you're going to make the generic rectangle. 9x squared, 25. Diamond problem. Okay, 225, x squared, 0x. There's no factors of positive 225 that add to 0x. So this is prime or not factorable. Now on C. C and D are kind of special occasions. On C, I'm going to get rid of my fractions by multiplying everything by 12. So I get x squared. 12 times -2x is -24x divided by 8 is -8x. 12 times -4 is -48. So now we can do our generic rectangle. X squared, -48. Diamond problem, -48x squared, add up to -8x. So we get -12x and 4x. So I'm going to go -12x, 4x. So I got x and x. -12 plus 4. So this is x minus 12 times x plus 4 is equal to 0. D, both these have a 5x squared in common. So what time 5x squared is 15x cubed? 3x minus 1, and that is factored. Okay? Number 5. Now they're trying to fool you here a little bit on number 5. We're still going to do the same thing. Okay? We want to solve this equation for x. So we look at this. So since it's not equal to 0, we need to make it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 20 to both sides. 2x squared minus 3x minus 20 equals 0. Again, generic rectangle. 2x squared, negative 20. Diamond problem. Negative 40x squared adding to negative 3x. That's negative 8x and 5x. So I'm going to go 8x here, negative 8x and 5x. So 2x and x. So plus 5, okay, minus 4. So we get 2x plus 5 times x minus 4 is equal to 0. So 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. X minus 4 is equal to 0. Subtract 5 to both sides. 2x is equal to negative 5. Divide by 2. X is equal to negative 5 halves. Or add 4 to both sides. X is equal to 4. Those also remember those are called your roots. Number 6. Okay. Number 6 here says label x and y intercepts and sketch. So again, when we do this, we want to factor it. Okay, so we're going to factor this. So 2x squared, negative 4x, diamond problem. 8x squared, negative x squared, add to 7x. So that's 8x and negative x. So I'm just going to go 8x here, negative x here. So 2x and x minus 1 plus 4. So we get 2x minus 1 times x plus 4 equals 0. Okay, so 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. X plus 4 is equal to 0. So we add 1 to both sides. 2x is equal to 1. Divide by 2. X is equal to 1/2. So that's one of our x values. X plus 4, so we subtract 4 to both sides. X is equal to negative 4. That's our other one. Okay. Then our y-intercept is at negative 4 down here. So our parabola is going to come up from the bottom here like this, even though I ran out of room. Okay. Number 7. Number 7 is we got to work backwards. Okay. They give us our x-intercepts. 3, 0. We know at one point this was x minus 3. 7, 0, that was x minus 7. Okay, so we went backwards. So if we multiply this by doing the generic rectangular formula, we get x squared. Negative 7x minus 3 is negative 10x. Negative 3 times negative 7 plus 21. And we get our equation using FOIL or the generic rectangle. 8, we're just describing the association of slope. So if I put a line of best fit through here, my association would be probably positive, linear, positive, no outliers. Okay, it's moderate strength. Then you can find the slope of your line of best fit. Okay, so it says as the degrees warm up, the sales would increase for your slope. So that's what we're looking at there. On number 9, again, right with fractional exponents. So remember the number in front of underneath the roots. 8 stays. Exponent outside stays on top. The root goes on the bottom. 10. Right next to this equation, so we're adding 2 each time. So t to the n. Remember, this is always first term, so we got to go 0 term. Negative 4. plus 2 to the n, or 2 to the n, 2 to the n minus 4. Again, we're going to solve for x, for number 11. So again, we want to factor this. Okay? Generic rectangle, 2x squared, 5. Diamond problem, 10x squared, add to 7x. That's 5x and 2x. So I'm going to 2x, 5x. So 2x and x. So this will be plus 5. This will be plus 1. So x plus 1 times 2x plus 5 equals 0. Then to solve for x, we need to put both these equal to 0. So I subtract 1 to both sides, I get x equals -1. Or my other root, 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. Subtract 5, 2x equals -5. Divide both sides by 2, x is equal to -5 halves. Okay? For number 11. Number 12, exponential law. So we got to square everything in here. That's parentheses. So 2 squared is 4, x to the 4th, y squared, z to the 6th. This is like a -1. -1 squared becomes positive. X squared, y squared, z squared. Okay? So 4 times 1 is just 4. Multiplying powers the same base, we add exponents. X is 6, y to the 4th, z to the 8th. What does it mean for a quadratic to be unfactorable prime? It has no whole number roots or x-intercepts. Okay, so that's what it means. So we're going to learn how to do those in the next chapter. 14. Solving for a certain variable. Okay? So we want to solve for h. So the first thing I do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 to get this 2 off the bottom. So 2a equals a plus b times h. So this is a plus b times h, so we're going to divide both sides by a plus b. So 2a over a plus b is equal to h. Then 15, our last one, we want to solve this, so I'm going to FOIL this. So I get x squared plus 6x plus 8 equals x squared plus 5x plus 4. Both sides have an x squared in common. 6x plus 8 equals 5x plus 4. Both sides have 5x in common. X plus 8 is equal to 4. So to get x by itself, we subtract 8 to both sides. X is equal to -4. And that is the review sheet.